live.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition, a very special edition of the Coach's Corner. Today, I will be your host. I am Coach Maico Moreno, and with me is Coach and Pitmaster James Pacheco. How you doing, James?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Maico. How you doing?
Excellent. So, as you guys may notice out there in the internet world, James has a table set up. As I mentioned, we have a very special edition of the Coach's Corner. James is going to give us a quick rundown of how he grills and how he cooks with the IrisVision goggles and the tools that he uses, and just a nice little demo, which I'm looking forward to. Very much so. I'm looking forward to this edition of Coach's Corner. But before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our nurses and caretakers. So this month,
Yes.
May is National Nurses Month, and National Nurses Week is between May 6th and May 12th. And I got one final one for you. National Nurses Day is May 6th, which just passed. So thank you to all our nurses. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all that you do. And all right, man, let's get started. So before we begin, James, give us a little background, if you don't mind, on your history as a pit master.
Sure thing. All right. So I started, I've always liked to grill. I really like to grill. And while I was in the Marine Corps, a guy I was stationed with lived in Texas. And one Thanksgiving, I went with him home to spend the holiday with him. And his uncle was a pit master. His name's John. And we would go in there, visit with him. I got to know him, showed interest. So I would help clean, the 4 days that we were there. I was always wanting to go over there and check out his smokers. He saw that I had interest, asked if I'd like to learn. So then I started learning. He taught me different types of woods, how to use offset smokers. And that kind of grew over 20 years ago. And then I've kind of taken it up grilling, different meats, smoking meats, just trying throughout the years. And about 15 years ago, I became a pit master. Pit master is where you can pretty much run a grill, run a smoking pit, offset any kind of smoker. You can judge meats, and which later led me in about 3 years later, I started being a judge for KCBS, Kansas City Barbecue Society. So I was a judge, traveled a little bit, mainly around here, Arizona, California, Utah. I didn't really travel across the states. And then I became captain's chair. I was in charge of the judges with KCBS. And so we'd have our group of judges under the tent. And if they had any questions or concerns, they'd call me. I'd make sure they're judging right, turning in their sheets, tallying, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to give that up, of course, 6 years ago when my eyesight started taking a turn. But judging, I had to pretty much give up, but I still love to grill and smoke meat all the time. I smoke meat I'd say at least 4 times a month. And grilling's probably every other night, if not every night.
Now,
just a passion of mine.
How important is it to be able to see what you're working with? For example, you go to the store, you got the fluorescent lighting. Everything kind of looks the same under that fluorescent lighting, especially if you don't have very good vision. Do you take your headset with you into at the butcher shop or the grocery store?
I do. I take it just like this. I also have a side satchel, but the main stores I go to, I know the butchers by first name. They know me. And without the iris, I see guys, even myself, I got my reading glasses. But as you're looking at the meats, trying to get the marbling right, not every piece of meat's the same. Don't believe that. So to really see it, detail, it is. It's very important. That's where you get your flavor from. So just take it out, wear it around your neck. I walk it in the grocery store, put it around my neck, push the cart. At first, I was really hesitant. Like, is anybody looking at me? Do a quick peek. Now, who cares? You're seeing better. Put it on, stand there. Kids will come up, bump you. What are you playing? Other people go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to ask, any particular mode that you use to be able to see the marbling?
I use scene mode in the beginning just to kind of look at the various meats, right? So get a couple, and if I really want to see detail, I'll go into scene with bubble, and then I'll zoom in, increase the bubble, zoom in, so I can really see the marbling. It gets tricky because of the plastic that's over at the wrap, visqueen.
The
You
glare,
just want to
right?
turn it. Yeah, you learn to ignore the glare, of course, like we as coaches teach you, you know, turning it to the side a little, angling the meat to get rid of the glare, magazine, you know, stuff like that. And if I really, really am considering this piece of meat, believe it or not, sometimes I go to reading inverted. And the high contrast will bring out the fat. It's a little trick. So I can even see more. I can see more than most people, put it that way, with regular eyesight. So
Look
little
at that.
tricks like that. Very important, judging your meat. Not all meat. You can be like my cousin who just picks up a piece of meat because it's on sale, or you can get a
Oh,
nice
don't do
piece of
that.
meat. Yeah,
The
I know.
clearance meat.
I know. Clearance meat. And some of that is good, Maico. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if you've got 5 ribeyes, right, packed up, you're going to want to get the best one for your money.
Yeah.
That's an expensive piece of meat. So use the device.
Oh,
Take it
yeah.
with you to the grocery store. That's what it's for. You can't wear it, but you can. I'm wearing it. I can walk anywhere, put it on. You know, it's on right now. It's turned on. It's in sleep mode. As soon as I want to wake it up, put it on. It's good to go.
There
So
you go.
this right here is the key for me, for sure.
So transitioning from the store into the actual process of cooking,
Yes.
right? Very important that
Very important.
you do have to keep an eye on what you have on the grill, what you have on your skillet, what you have cooking, especially when it comes to meat, poultry,
Yes, sir.
pork. Using meat thermometers as well, right? What kind of techniques do you use when the meat is on the grill?
Good question. Good question. So I have a variety. First of all, if you're going to wear this, like right now, it's 90 something degrees here in Southern Arizona at 9:15. I say 90. I think it's right at 90. It was 93, I thought, but I think it's anyway. It does, you know, people say it gets hot in there, this and that. Well, when I'm in the AC, it's cool. When I come out here, hanging around your neck, use it when you need to. You know, you don't have to keep it on the whole time. So let's say, turn my head around, excuse me, put it on. All right, so now if I needed to check a piece of meat, I just turn it on, right? It's already zoomed into where I need. You go in, you check the meat, right? Take a look, okay, good. It's not that hard, right? I don't know how else to say it, you know, to do it. Now, the different types of gadgets I have here, you mind if I go through those real quick?
Oh, by all means. What you got?
Yeah, you know, long handles, your best friend.
Yes.
When you're, and then seen with bubble mode is the one you're going to use the most because you want to see around the grill. So if I was in the grill, you're going to want to see around it. If you go too close, you have no depth perception with the goggles on. So seen with bubble is ideal because you have the line seen only magnified to 1, right? Compared to scene mode, you zoom in, everything's bigger. You have no depth perception. You take more of a chance of touching your hand. But we as users, we kind of know where our depth perception's at, right? We'll hesitantly grab something. Seen with bubble, you increase the bubble just big enough. You want to be able to see around it, and you'll be surprised how good that works with grilling. You can actually go and look at the meat, flip the burgers and meat with a long handle, of course. That's your best friend. Long handle, everything. Big pots and long handles, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So on that note, you want bigger, fatter, right? Easier to get under. It's a fish, but I cook everything with this too. Longer handle, right? I also use gloves. This is one of my main heat gloves. I usually, this will hold like 1200. I mean, it'll go up to 1200 degrees, in which I don't cook anything at that. The most I usually smoke at about 200, 250. Okay. And then if I grill, it's usually around 400 degrees, 500 on the grill. Okay. Long moppers for mopping it's a longer handle one, not the little brush one. I even have a bigger handle one. It's almost like probably about 3 feet for my big smoker, the commercial grade.
I'm not familiar with a mopper. What is a mopper for?
Okay, a mopper is when you smoke meat, you dip it in your brine, you know, your au jus, you put it in there and you mop the meat so it doesn't dry out. It adds flavor, a lot of flavor. Like I make my own sauces, I make my own brines. But while a brisket's cooking for 14 hours, right, at 250, it could dry out. That's why you want to be very selective over what kind of meat you get. You want a lot of fat marbled in so it keeps it moist and that adds flavor, right? Well,
Yeah, you make
Mopper,
me
you dip
hungry.
in. I know. Right after this, I might throw a steak on. Okay, so then I have a bucket. I have a bigger bucket. I'll dip in, and then I'll just open the smoker or the grill and just mop it. Add some moisture. Okay.
Okay.
Some people
Okay.
use sprayers. Sometimes I'll use sprayers. Mine was dirty. I didn't wash it last time. Sorry. So couldn't use that.
Apology accepted.
So that's a mopper. And then before the meat, I use injectors. I'll inject my meat.
Mhm.
Okay. I do have, the little ones you get at the stores, kind of like a oversized shot. Speaking of Nurses Week.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a syringe.
Yeah, like a syringe, a bigger syringe. Those are cool, but as with low vision, it's kind of difficult, right? Putting it in the jar, sucking it back. You can do it. I have a bigger one, but this one I can mix up my injection, right? And then this will just drop in. I have a bucket drop in, and then it's a pump. I'll just squeeze it, inject it, and start injecting my meat. So I don't have to keep going with the syringe. So any
Dude.
kind of bigger injector is the bomb for low vision.
Dude, you are
Okay?
not messing around. I
I
need
don't
to
mess
take,
around.
I need to take a trip from the IrisVision studios over to Arizona. Look at
Come on down. Come on down.
that.
And then this is electric knives. I know everybody's intimidated. I like electric and regular knives, but remember, a dull knife is what hurts you. A dull knife hurts
Yep.
you. Okay.
Yep.
So electric knives, of course, they're always sharp. You want to learn to keep them. We'll go over that. I think we have another session we're going to do, right, Mako, where I'm actually going to trim up some meat and we're
Oh,
actually
yeah.
going to smoke some meat. So look forward to that. I look forward to that. So I think we're going to do a
You
little
and I
series.
both.
There you go. So electric knives, don't be afraid of them. I mean, it's going to take practice. Do I use the IrisVision with this? Yes, I do. But I do know my depth perception. Okay, I'll use my long fork and I'll hold the meat and I stay away. It takes practice. I'm not telling you to jump on it from the beginning, but I do use this from a pro, and you can work your way up to it also. Okay, electric knives, you don't have to, just don't touch anywhere. These are also cut resistant, Kevlar. Okay, I wear different gloves when I trim meat. They're Kevlar. I really don't hit my fingers at all. That's the trick. Okay, but I do use. You'll have to see when I go at it. Maybe use this one. So a regular knife. This is super sharp. Okay, it's worth it to get the more expensive knives. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that straight out. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
you're sharpening the other. This will hold the blade as long as I'm not hitting bone. Okay, this will hold the blade of sharpness for a couple months, maybe cutting meat. Of course, I wash it, but yes, my wife, she'll probably say no. Just kidding. I do. Okay, and then sharpeners are real important, right? You can use the Gordon Ramsay, the sharpening mill. I use that too. But also, if I want to get really good, you just go like this. If you want a really good blade on it, right? There's no way I can hit myself. Like I'm hitting it, my hand's protected. Some people pull away. You can do it either or. All right. Sharpening, I don't even know what this is called. I forgot. But it's used to sharpen knives. Okay, and it really puts a fine blade on there. So instead of going, you do your 15, 20 degrees on a sharpening. And then when you want to redo the stone, you use a sharpening stone when you want to redo the blade besides straighten it. Or you can just get a sharpening gadget like this. Makes it so easy. And this is super razor sharp. Super razor sharp. Knife, sharp knives are very important, Miko. As people who cook and grill should probably know. They do know. All righty. And I have thermometers you asked about. These are all my thermometers. Okay. It has a small screen. I can see it with the IrisVision, but on top of that, this is let me grab this one is a talking thermometer. So it's a quick probe. If you don't have one of these, get one. Make sure it's talking. They have them on Amazon. There's several. You want to hear it. This will tell you if the meat's close, okay? You'll probe the meat, and seeing with bubble works good for that. That way you're getting the center of the meat. And instead of having to look at the digital display, it'll talk to you. It'll tell you temperature 180 or temperature 125. You need that. You really need that. I know a lot of my friends, when they come over, they're like, cool, an instant thermometer. I said, yeah, but it's talking. What? So some of my sighted friends, they even go and get the talking ones because they like it a lot better. Okay. Now this one is Maverick 723, and they have 732s. I can't really see the screen unless I put the IrisVision on, right? It's a small screen, and then the probes go in here. What you do is you use the IrisVision and you set the alarm, okay? You'll set the alarm on it at whatever temperature you want the meat. And Sam from the Blind Life was asking about this. We had our Christmas one. I was going to go over some different thermometers with them. I got quite a few because let me show you. Okay, so with the thermometer, you can set what temperature. You can set the barbecue high and low. So if I'm smoking at 250, I'll set it 275 for the high temperature. And then the low, I'll set to, like, let's say 200. And then I'll set the meat temperature. Okay, if I want the meat pulled pork or brisket, you want to smoke to 200, 203, 205. So it's fall apart goodness, right? I'll set it to 190. I'll set the alarm to 190 and I'll turn the alarm on. Okay. And this goes in the house with me. This stays above my smoker with the probes plugged into the meat.
Right.
And that way I can look at it, get the IrisVision on, look at it. Okay. On top of that, if I get busy doing something, I don't have to keep coming and probing it. I could even go to sleep if I got a long smoke. If the smoker goes out during the middle of the night, well, that could be a $80 brisket, $120 brisket, right? Gone. Yep. So it works off its own Wi-Fi. It doesn't have to be connected to the Wi-Fi. I like the Mavericks because they talk to each other. You don't need, like, if internet goes out or something like that, it sends its own, and they're good up to 200 feet. So I can go to my bedroom and crash out, right? And also when it hits 190, it'll beep, 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 beep. So I know the meat's almost done. I'll come and wrap it or come and sauce it, whatever I need. Then I'll reset it to 200 using the IrisVision. Or sometimes my wife will set it, right? She'll set it for me. And then that way, then when the alarm, I know I have to come outside, wrap the meat. Okay. These come in handy. They do make a couple talking ones. My buddy borrowed it. I told Myrna, I was like, he didn't give it back to me in time for this, but I'll get it back and I'll show you. That one's talking also, but these are just as good. If you can get a thermometer that has an alarm using the IrisVision, you can see this. You can see anything with the IrisVision just about. Thing is, you don't have to wear it all the time. You know, I don't know anybody who wears it all the time. I wear it quite a bit. You wear it quite a bit. But, you know, I have a lot of people say it gets hot. And yeah, I'm out here grilling. But without this, I wouldn't be turning out the meat. I guarantee that I still do. So this brought back a lot. And I take my meat very serious, if you can't tell.
Yeah, well, I could tell. Well, James, I feel like I've learned a lot today, man. Thank you so much. Good. And like James mentioned, we're gonna make this a series. I think there's a lot here. It's a lot of fun. It's very educational. It's cool, man. I enjoy this kind of stuff. And there's a whole world, right? We're just basically, this is the tip of the iceberg here. We haven't even gotten into the actual process of cooking. So
much you can do. So much. And don't give up. You got IrisVision, Maico. Like I said, I wish you could come to Arizona. Besides cooking in the kitchen, I'm sure a lot do. Don't give up your grilling. Go ahead, Maico. I'm sorry.
No. That's it, man. It's
I get happy something that I was grilling.
Yeah, you know, I was something I was very interested before I lost my eyesight, and I didn't really think that I'd be able to get back into it. But I think you kind of inspired me a little bit here to get back on my game, go beyond the carne asada. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I might just go out and get me a smoker, man. That's pretty cool. So
you do that too. The best one.
If
my
you
opinion,
could,
anyway.
When you grill, if you do grill something up today, let's take a picture of it, man. Let's share it. And
definitely.
share it with the folks. And I'll ask the folks out there watching this. If you're out there grilling, let us see what you're doing. Show us what you're cooking.
Definitely.
Up. It doesn't have to be grilling. Yep. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're going to do a series. We're going to do a brisket live. Well, semi-live. I may record some of it. That'll be up to you guys. But we definitely talked, right, about doing how we prepare a brisket, how you can still trim the meat. It takes practice like anything else. And that's why as coaches, the IrisVision works. It really works. And I'm not just saying, of course, I use it, but it brought back, I'm able to still do this. And all the gadgets you see, they're not super expensive. I mean, the thermometers are less than $50. every one of them. I mean, even the Mavericks, they're less than $50. You can get one set. You don't need as many as me. The grilling utensils you can get, you know, long handle. That's all, good quality long handle. Knives are semi-expensive, but the rest is easy. The IrisVision, using the IrisVision, you can really get back into it. I know I keep saying IrisVision, but I was so happy when I started practicing. My meat turned out good again. Everything else, Maico, you can do it, man.
Yep. And then once again, I'll ask the folks out there, if you use your IrisVision to grill, if you use it to cook, heck, we're inclusive here, man. If you're a vegetarian, if you're a vegan, if you're making up salads and non-meat dishes, share your photos with us. We'll post them.
I don't know what those are.
Those it's what your meat eats, is what that is.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But thank you very much, James, for your demo. Stay tuned for the series coming up. Grilling with the Pit-master, Mr. Jimbo Pacheco, old James Pacheco, client coach. And thank you very much. So I'll take one of the things that you mentioned earlier as the pro tip. I know Marina likes to give a pro tip at the end of her videos. You mentioned using reading inverted to look at, you know, a nice cut of meat and to check the details on it in a different mode. So these modes that we create are designed for very specific things. For example, like television mode for digital displays and so on. But sometimes you can go off script and you can use these different modes for different things. You never know, right? So feel free to explore all the different modes. Just because you're you're doing a specific task doesn't mean you have to use that specific mode for it. Try a colored filter, try green, try yellow, try inverted. See if that helps you out. See if it improves it, right? So thank you for bringing that up earlier, man. That's a really cool pro tip.
Yeah, we give you a bunch of different modes. And what I always tell clients is, hey, we advise you how to use them, but we advise try them all, different things. Try, seeing for reading if you want. Try this and that, try them all. You got a bunch of different ones, you might as well, right?
Yeah.
Find your favorites for the favorite job you do.
Do it now.
Make a good tip.
Yep. All right, James. Well, that was a great coach's corner. Thanks everyone for listening, watching, and joining along on this demonstration. And stay tuned for the series coming up. You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.